Hello everyone, Mason here. How you doing? Today it's time for the books I wish existed. I recently saw this idea being done by the Rosie Cockshutt. It was honestly one of my favourite Booktube videos ever. It was so much fun, I had to give it a go myself. Rosie's version of this video will of course be in the description, and you should definitely go and watch it if you haven't already, because it was awesome. Now, as far as I know, none of these books exist, but I wish that they did, and if they do, well, the comments section's right there. You know what to do. I'm ready to go with this one, so let's get to it. Number 1. Extraordinary Life. As is the case with many people, when I picked up The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie earlier this year, I was taken in and utterly impressed by the level of characterisation. One of my favourite things about stories is everybody has them, but I don't care about the so-called interesting, exciting people. I want to hear about boring, ordinary people and the mad stuff they go through in their day-to-day life. Give me a collection of short stories, all set in the same town, with the depth of character that Joe Abercrombie provides, but focusing on what most people would call mundane. What's it like being a bin collector, a plumber, an engineer, a till worker, taxi driver, postman, you name it? I want to hear about it. I want to hear about what they go through and the mad stories that they could tell. I love the idea of these characters whose lives intersect with so many others, who see the crazy in the mundane and can give us hilarious and relatable observations on everyday life. Number 2. Criminal Masterminds, but magical. Give me the intense, gritty atmosphere of a police procedural like Line of Duty, crossed with a low urban fantasy dealing with the criminal underbelly of the magical world. For those of you who don't know, Line of Duty is a police procedural here in the UK that focuses on an anti-corruption unit within the Metropolitan Police. There's bent coppers, conspiracies, and intense interrogations. I want magic, but I want it to be grounded in reality. I want to believe that it could really be happening, that these magic users could be out there and I have no idea. One of them could be my neighbours, and I want to see how dangerous and destructive the magic can be. I want a unit of officers that deal specifically with magical crimes, perhaps with an undercover element. Maybe one of the officers has to infiltrate an organised crime gang that's selling dangerous and maybe even deadly spells or potions to the highest bidder. I think it makes sense that if magic was real, some of it would be illegal, and that would create a black market, and I'd love to see that explored. At first it could be simple, case by case basis, but slowly and surely they could uncover some sort of dark conspiracy. If magic use was a secret, maybe there could be a group of people that were trying to get it out in the open. I just love the idea of a gritty, dark, realistic police procedural but with magic. I think it'd be fun. I know some of you are going to think that that sounds ridiculous, and I know some of you are going to point out that the Dresden Files exists, but that seems to have a lot more paranormal elements than I would want in this. Number 3. Fighting Fires. Whilst we're on the subject of procedurals, I would absolutely love a series written by an author with as much knowledge and expertise as Kathy Reichs has about forensic anthropology, but about firefighters instead. Honestly, I just don't know that much about firefighters, and their job has to be intense. If the author could create a great cast of characters, I think it could make for an amazing series that focused on a different case each time. There's such a huge variety of things that they deal with. Obviously fires, then you've got chemical spills, car crashes, floods and other rescue situations, as well as I'm sure much more. No two cases would be the same, and I think there's so much material that could be mined. If it was written by an author with that in-depth knowledge that could talk about different accelerants and the procedures and techniques that they have to use on the job, as well as giving us a compelling storyline and characters that you could really sink your teeth into, I genuinely think it could be so good. Number 4. A Vengeful Mother. Okay, this one's got quite a few elements at play. First, imagine a revenge story with the grit and violence that the Punisher has, but with a mother whose child was killed and now she's out to get the people responsible. Then add in elements of a road trip story. The people she's out to get aren't all in one location, so she's got to travel round to find them. Now add in the stealth and cunning of a hitman. The people that she's out to get are all important. She can't necessarily get to them easily, so she's got to come up with clever and convoluted ways to infiltrate their lives, get into their inner circles and poison them or make their deaths look like an accident, working their way through them one by one until she gets to the big fish. The final element is the dark, blunt, honest and raw humour that CJ Skews provides in Sweet Pea. All of this adds up to what would be a crazy standalone novel about a mum trying to get revenge. It'd be gory and slightly over the top, hilarious and fun at the same time. If it was executed well, I think it'd be amazing. Number 5. A Very Hobbit Christmas. Did you think I was going to go a whole video without mentioning The Lord of the Rings? Nah, of course you didn't, that'd be silly. Rosie, you may want cozy Shire mysteries, but what about a contemporary style romance set in Hobbiton around Christmas? What could be more cozy than that? Just think about it. Hobbiton covered in snow, how beautiful would that be? The party field all done up with decorations ready for the massive Christmas Day feast that they're going to have? I'd absolutely love to know what Hobbiton would be like around Christmas. Imagine the food! I feel like I'm gaining weight just thinking about it. I can just imagine this perfectly cozy winter setting. Snow everywhere, beautifully decorated hobbit holes, everyone trying to outdo their neighbours, log fires and smoke coming from the chimneys. A friends to lovers romance. 2 hobbits that have always been best friends, teaming up to bake entries for the Christmas Day baking competition, and realising in the process that they've always been in love. Heartwarming. Honestly though, my biggest concern is how massive the feast would be considering how large hobbit appetites are. Right, that's all of them. That was good fun. I just wanted to say before I go, I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. Speaking of which, my question for today is this. If you knew that Christmas Day was the last day before some sort of giant black hole opened up to suck us all into it, what would you do? If you've enjoyed this video, the like and subscribe buttons are just sitting there, waiting to be pressed. Now press them, or I'll get Santa to tattoo naughty on your forehead. If you want to get in touch, say hi and have a chat, you know where the comment section is, and the link to my Twitter can be found in the description. Thanks ever so much for spending time with me today, guys. Until next time, take care. For now, I'm off, and you should have a good one.